Hey, 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 Uncle Mark in the mothership. 3-string cigar box guitar. Yeah, yeah. This is Jethro Tull. This is Aqualung. So this is actually a very easy song with some quick changes. So let me play a little bit of this, especially that intro riff, and we will just work on that intro riff. So here we go. All right. What do we got going on? G, D, G, 42, 34, 24. Those are my gauges. These are electric. They are wound. I'm playing through a Roland Mini Cube, and I have some very, very distorted settings on this Roland Cube, and I'll show you that at the end of the video. This tune is kind of all over the place. The first section starts on D, and so what do we know D is? So open is G, G sharp, A, B flat, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, and G. And this G, F sharp, and C are going to come in really handy when we do the acoustic part of this, okay? So that's going to come in really handy there. So to start this thing out, this riff, okay? So I tend to move my hand around, and what I want you to think is, and if you can't stretch this far, because I'm got, you know, my finger here, finger on that fret, and then I'm stretched, you can jump around a little bit. So it's D, F, B flat, C, C sharp, C. And that's how I think of it. So, D, open, B flat, C, C sharp. If you wanted to do it with numbers, you would do 7, 0, 3, 5, 6, 5. Okay? Then we get into the chords. So we'll do this one more time. It's actually a pretty easy riff considering just the power that it gives you. It's just really, really rockin' riff. So after that, and really quick, we start moving around with a bunch of quick bar chords. So we get this riff, C sharp, D sharp, F. Okay? So that's how it just bangs out of that and just starts moving up the frets. So, C sharp, D sharp, F. Okay, so it does so it's an F, D sharp, F, D sharp, F sharp. So it's a okay, so it does that, it has that quality to it. So we're here. And we're back to this C sharp. So the riff, C sharp, D sharp, F, F sharp, C sharp, then D sharp, C sharp, F sharp, E, B, D. So place in here. So I'm going to do this slowly. So it's kind of all over. I'm going to do that one more time. Okay, so it's tough in here to get this. Do it again. Okay? So that is that entire introduction. It goes all the way through with about 4 sets of lyrics, and then it goes into the acoustic chords. And I'm just going to stay with this tone, but normally you would go switch back to an acoustic tone. So it's G. C. C minor. Taking time, E minor, the only way he knows. F. So, minors, majors, what do we got going on here? So like I said, G, G sharp, A, B flat, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, and G. That's a G chord. This is a G minor. It's also down here. I tend to like it in this upper register. And what I mean by upper register is anything above those 2 dots right there. Anything above or on the 12th fret I consider in the upper register up here. Anything is down below. And so I like this up here. And especially if you turn your gain down, you end up with a really, really nice acoustic sound. So, G. F. The old man C. Wandered lonely. C minor. Taking time. E minor. The only way he knows. F. So that's what it is. It's G, F, C, C minor, E minor, and F. Now, with these minors, you don't have to do that, so Aqualung, my friend, don't you start away uneasy. You poured sudden, you see it's only me. Okay, so you can certainly do it without the minors, but you know, adding that note, if you can, is just absolutely wonderful. So the solo section, when it comes into it, it's G. You still remember? Okay, so it's G and F. Do you still remember December's foggy freeze? G, 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 F, 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 G, 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 F, and F, F, G, C, C minor, D. And that's how the whole thing rolls into the solo. So it actually is quite simple, and if you listen to it, it does the "Do you still remember December's foggy freeze?" So it's got this quality to it where you're really moving fast through these chords. And if you want to learn how to play like that and go back and forth, tap your fretboard here and then pull back. Let the elasticity of your pick slap back and forth. You can hear that tap. So you got some little notes here you can work with. This is an F shape, an F with a G, and an F with an A. On the street and go, the old man wander lonely. They can find the only way he knows. Aqualung, my friend, don't you start away uneasy. So that's it. It's just these 3 chords over and over through this section. And then, of course, you're back. C sharp. And there you have it. All of Aqualung in its entirety. The solo is doable on a 3-string cigar box guitar. The solo is totally doable. For you advanced players out there that want to fool around with it, it is absolutely doable. On a 3-string with the lower register and the upper register stuff and the... You can do the whole solo. So if you feel like messing around with that, it is super, super fun to fool around with the Martin Barre chords. The Martin Barre solo parts are just so fun. It's got to be in my top 5 of my favorite solos of all time. So do look at that. And if all you do out of this song is... That's just, it's worth its weight in gold. It's such a killer riff. It's just so iconic and classic rock that you'll just get off on it like me over and over and over. This is Uncle Mark in the Mothership. Thank you so much for everything you do for me. I do have a PayPal link down below. It's a paypal.me/Uncle Mark Tips. And I want to thank you so much for everything. $1 a show is all we ask here in the Mothership. Really appreciate it. Told you I'd show you my settings. So I've got a little bit of different settings here. I'm still on that Brit combo, just barely a little reverb, but my gain is straight up 12 o'clock. Tone is dimed. So if you feel like it though, you can crank this gain up to the 3/4 notch. So, sorry, 3/4 is there. And that gives you a much beefier sound, right? So if you want to play it that way, that's great too. So just look and dial around and see what you got and find a good tone for you. But this is, I could just play this all day long and be super happy with a big fat smile on my face. See the big smile? Yeah. So thank you so much for everything, and we'll see you again soon.